Good morning, everybody. Another gray, rainy day. That's all we get around here. So today we're filming on the ZV-E1 with the new 12mm Samyang lens. I'm hoping it's doing its job. And is it ever noisy out here? As you guys can see, all the leaves are now down. There's nothing left in the trees. So I spent all weekend, I'll show you guys what I've been up to. Every year, it's the same routine. It is a boatload of work. So every year I've got to take my two sheds and I winterize everything. There's my lawn tractor put away, all our deck stuff put away, my hammock. So every fall I've got two sheds. This one gets filled with all the winter stuff. It gets locked up. And we essentially don't go in there till spring. And then I've got my other shed in the front, which has my snowblower and, well, a bunch of stuff that was never in there before. Tires for Hannah's car. And I'm assuming that my microphone is picking up around me. Everybody, as you can see, I don't blow the leaves off my lawn. Are you one of those annoying neighbors that blows the leaves off your lawn? These guys should know better. You don't need an environmental degree to understand that you should be leaving the leaves on your lawn, at least all winter. The trees are dropping their nutrients, right? And the whole point of them doing that is so that they can suck the nutrients back up. And everybody around here, these guys have big, huge lawns like I do. And instead of just taking their lawn tractor and mulching it and leaving it, they take leaf blowers. I've been listening to it for days. And they're all guilty. All three of them on that side. You know, Cam, Win, Mark. Mark's over there doing it right now. They're leaf blowing. Why? See? Leave the leaves, and then your nice big maple tree will suck up all those nutrients again come spring. And here's my other shed. So this is in place just in case it snows. It already has snowed twice, you know. And of course, along with the shed swap over, I've got to do a whole garage clean out. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? Got all my stuff put away, winterized, garage is cleaned. I even hung up the metal detectors, but I'm not done there. I'd like to get 2 more episodes in. We've been at episode 23 for this season for like a month. I got back into it for a while. We did 12 more episodes, and then I just haven't had time. So I don't know, maybe go hit some beach areas, something that's easy to dig, because we are getting frost now and the ground is starting to freeze. So you got to pick areas either in the woods or beaches. You know, beach sand doesn't freeze until later. But I'm hoping to get out and get at least 2 more episodes in before hunting season. Now all my work is done, guys. All I do here now at the house is wait for snow. And then the work starts again with the snow plowing every freaking day. Snow blowing, plowing, whatever it takes. Same repetitive work all day, over and over. Some days I'll go out and snow blow or plow 3 times, you know, in a really bad day. And I just... it's to me, doing the same job over and over and over, I'm just like, why do I bother? But you have to. Living up here, it's like when we were kids, we did wood. The same question used to go through my mind when we lived out in Redbridge with my dad. You know, for 20 years we did wood. Feed the stove, you know, fill the basement, cut the trees down, pile the wood, move the wood, you know, just repetitive over and over and over. Although I will say with wood, it was a really good workout. All the farm kids and the bush kids, hey, you didn't mess with any of us because we threw wood for 4 months of the year, so we were strong. We're going to have to get out to Dad's and do a bit of an update out there because apparently they've been moving on the house like crazy. Dad says they're doing lots of work. Insulation's going in, windows are in, all the wiring is done. I'm not sure what they're working on now, but he said, you know, when they get a crew of 3-4 of these young guys there, he said they can do a lot of work in, you know, a week. So we'll have to go do an update there before they get too far ahead. I'm hoping, I don't know, guys, is he going to be in before the snow flies? I doubt it. Is he going to be in before Christmas? I don't know. Fingers crossed for him. I'll have to help him hook up his new TV. We're going to get him a wall mount. He bought an electric fireplace for his living room. And I told him it'll say right in there not to mount a TV on it. And then he won this big 65-inch TV. I don't know if the TV's even going to fit on this thing that he bought. So I said, you know what, Dad, I'll just buy you a wall mount and we'll make a project of it. We'll go out, we'll wall mount both of his TVs for him. At some point, it will be an update video. We'll go out to Dad's when they're almost finished, or maybe when they are, and we'll hang out with Dad and we'll hang his TVs for him. We'll make a video. Maybe we'll watch, hey, something, we can find another, like, Dad really liked The Missing 411. So if I can find some kind of documentary like that, maybe we'll mount his TV, sit down and do a video session with Dad. We'll get him to watch something and get his take on it. Oh, TV timeout. Left-handed. I gotta switch. I can't do that to Gage. Gotta at least give him a good throw here. That's too funny. As I'm standing here talking to you guys, he's brought me 3 balls. He's got all different balls for me to throw. Also, this hunting season, guys, I want to dive deep. I want to go into some questions in history with Dad. I've realized, you know, having Uncle Harv's funeral this past week, that our hunting group is really down to just me and Dad. The last 6 years, you know, it's been Harvey and Chris and me and Dad. Well, now Harvey's gone. Chris isn't coming out hunting. And you know, this year Grant is living back in the area, so is he going to hunt with us? I don't know, he might. Probably will a few days. But I've been documenting and recording family movies for 25 years. And I would kind of be a fool to not take the opportunity while Dad is still here and going out hunting to do a deep dive into the history of the hunting, the group, the areas that he goes to. I hear the same hunting stories, guys, every time we're driving around for 8 hours a day in the truck, and we seem to do a lot more of that. The older Dad gets, we do more driving than hunting. But I hear the same stories that I've been hearing since I was a kid. And I really want to do a documentary, I think, and do a deep dive with Dad on the hunting and stuff while he's still here. And I can ask him the important questions and just see what we can do to get his side of it while he's still here. I know a lot of you guys like the Dad stories. He's an old mountain man. He is. My dad is gruff. You should see the editing I've got to do to present this guy as a lovable old fart, because he's not. My dad is, my dad's my dad. He's a character. I'm not saying he's not a good guy. He is. He's just an old school, rough around the edges. Grab your rifle, let's go, boy. We're going over the mountain. And that's my dad. Like, you can't really soften the edges. He is what he is. It comes through in all the videos I make. But you guys seem to love him. So he's real. That's the one thing I can say about my dad, is he's real. He'll tell you how it is. He'll tell you what he thinks. Whether he's right or not, he's going to tell you what he thinks. We might as well pick his brain and get some kind of hunting documentary out of this while he's still going. And I was going to say as long as he wants to keep going, but he's already told me he's going over the mountain until he's 95. So upcoming on Unfrequented World, we're going to have a bunch of videos that we use the new ZV-E1 for. We do some testing with the scope and things like that. The new Samyang lens, we do a bit of a test with that. I'll probably end up throwing this up as a weekly update before any of those go up, just because it's been a few days. I haven't posted anything. I'm feeling guilty, but it is a super busy time of the year. I'm feeling really good that, like I say, all that work that we had there to do with the fall changeover is done, and now it's just a matter of getting back into making some movies for you guys. Well, that and getting into the fall groove. We also, this time of year, start going back to the gym. I've been going for 5 weeks now, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I'm actually doing weights this year. Last year I didn't do any, and I played squash all winter, so that's good for the cardio. But when I played baseball this summer for the first time in 5 years, I realized Gary does not have the leg muscles that he used to have, and it almost felt like, you know, rubber legs running the bases. And then I was injuring myself over and over, pull a hamstring, pull an Achilles. It just seemed to be a weekly thing, one or the other. And then of course, we've got 2 legs, so 2 Achilles, 2 hamstrings, and I pulled them all last season. So I've dedicated myself this winter to getting back into baseball shape. That's another thing I used to film and document every season. I've got about 15 seasons of all the teams that we used to, Carrie and I used to play on. And I was watching those the other day and I'm like, man, look how smooth I used to run. I could make a diving catch. Oh God, just the thought of a diving catch now, guys. I'm like, no. At 47, next season I'll be 48 by the time the season starts. I'm like, no, I'm too old for that. But I can still run down some fly balls and I'm still pretty speedy on the base pads when I'm not injured. So this winter, I'm going to get back to the gym, not just for squash. We're doing that 2 times a week. But I am dedicating myself to weights and putting on some muscle. And I already am a little bit. My arms, after 5 weeks, I've noticed a difference already. I'm feeling stronger and I'm feeling better. And I'm thinking about even trying to get Dad to go to the gym. That's another thing I noticed lately, that he's not going to have to do wood. We talked about, it's funny that we talked about doing wood earlier, and I told you guys it's a great workout. And I see these people down at the casino. Dad hangs out at the casino a lot. It's his go-to, right? It's his social place. I can't knock him for that, but personally, I'm going to try to get him to start going to the gym instead of the casino. Let's see if we can get the old man to push a little bit of weights around. I can't see him on a treadmill, guys. Maybe walking, but he might do some weights. He was a member before, and I'm just going to tell him, straight up, honest truth, Dad, if you want to go over the mountain till you're 95, you better join me at the gym. I can already hear what he's going to say, but now that he's not doing wood, he might actually reconsider and say, yeah, I do need to do something else. All right, I think that's it for the update, guys. I'm off to the gym to do a round of squash, 2.5-hour death match against my buddy Tim. I'd like to try the camera out and record some of that in 120, but the camera overheats, and we have a problem at our local Y. It's ridiculous. In the squash court, it doesn't blow air conditioning. It blows heat. In the squash court. Tim and I have been complaining for 4 years. You open the squash court, it's colder outside than inside. It makes no sense. So it's basically we're playing around a squash and we're having a sauna at the same time. But we do what we can do. We make it work. All right, thanks for joining me, guys. I'll catch you in the next adventure.